A new week, which means a new featured five. This week's featured five all have something in common with each other, so we'll see if you guess what it is by the end. Our first book is a fiction book. It's by Ewan Colfer. It's called Airman. It's actually a steampunk fiction book. Steampunk is a historical book, but that has scientific, like science fiction elements in it. So in this book, it's set in the 1890s on an island off the Irish coast, but it has designs for flying machines, gliders, and things like that in it. So it has futuristic technology, but in a historical setting. So if you've never tried a steampunk book, I definitely recommend Airman. The next set of books, I'm actually going to show several here. This one's Paper Airplanes. This one, they're all paper airplane books, but they all, like, one's co-pilot, pilot, and captain. So these are fun. They are origami books, which is paper folding, but they all have to do with folding airplanes, which is just kind of fun. The next book here, the third book says, airline pilot. Have you started to guess what our theme is? This is a career book, so if you've ever thought of becoming an airline pilot or just want to know more about it, this would be a great way to read more about what it's like to have that as a career. Our next book, Talking About Bessie. This one is the biography of a woman who became the first licensed African-American pilot. And it's a picture book, so it's a great way to read about somebody you may not know much about, but you can read it in one sitting, which is really great. And our final featured five, have you figured out our theme yet? This one is called One Small Step by P.B. Kerr. This one is set in 1969 in Houston, Texas, when Scott learns to fly from his father, who is an Air Force flight instructor, but NASA needs him, and this is his story about that journey. Has anybody guessed what our theme is for our featured five this week? I bet you have some idea. It is Aviation History Month in November, so all of these books have to do with aviation, which is really great. I hope you've enjoyed this week's featured five. If you're interested in checking any of these out, just click on the button underneath this video for a list of the books in this display.